Hello, my name is Pavel Novikov, and today I will talk about VoLTE network and how to hijack this VoLTE network. I hope you know what is it, but anyway, I will explain it during our speech. First of all, who I am. I am head of security research in SecurityGen. 10 years in telecom security. I'm co-author of FS.20 GPRS tunneling protocol security document by GSMA. I'm focused on telecom vulnerabilities, almost everything in telecom, radio access network, VoLTE, voice over Wi-Fi, GTP diameter, 5G standalone, non-standalone, and a lot of stuff regarding mobile networks. So my work is conducting telecom security assessments for mobile operators, and I do it many years already. I'm not the only guy who did this research. Except me, it was Alex Onegov, who is not working anymore in our company, and Sergey Moshkov, who probably doing some security assessment right now. First of all, we need to understand the relevance of the topic and why we are speaking about VoLTE vulnerabilities right now. But to do that, first of all, we need to get some short course of mobile network evolution, because mobile network evolution, it was like they was solving some problems of previous generation and losing some focus on other problems. So if we look on 2G network, I will not speak about 1G because it was analog and it is not used anymore anywhere, but 2G is still there. So when in 19th mobile network decided, they decided to build a cell network. So the first purpose for that, it was to make possible to make calls. Because that was the idea of mobile network, to make calls, not serving internet like now, but making calls. And they built this structure. There was some circuit switched core inside mobile network. There are some base stations, radio, and you see that there is radio and mobile phone. So that's how it connects to public switched telephone network, so it's usual phones. So it allowed to make this possible to make calls not somewhere on a place, but you may go everywhere and make these calls. But if you know, in 19th, the internet was very slow, and mostly it was dial-up via landline connection, analog connection. And when people get this possibility to make calls remotely, they thought maybe I can access internet remotely. And they introduced some changes in this core network, added some features, and made it possible to make the same dial-up connection to the internet. But the problem is that 2G network is perfectly fit to make calls, because it was an idea to make calls in 2G network. And the radio frequency, it's fully structured for calls. So you have voice, you need to convert it to digital data. So it encoded in specific way, it put it in the radio in specific way. So everything was made for voice. But they decided to add packet switched core, and it added GPRS possibility to 2G network. So just to avoid this multiple conversion from analog to digital to analog and again, because it was not effective, so they made these changes, added GPRS, and added packet switched core inside the network, and this core handling this internet connection by subscribers. And that was an idea. The problem is that when they added GPRS and started expanding speed and bandwidth of that, they realized that 2G radio is not fit for that at all. So it's very restricted for voice, and it's very good for voice, but it's not good for packet. You can expand connection too much with that. So to solve this problem, they thought that, well, we need new technology which will be more flexible on the radio to provide more possibilities to subscribers. And they added 3G network. 3G network, the idea is the same. So inside the network, it is still the same infrastructure. They added new base station and new radio. This new radio is much more flexible, so it is not voice-oriented, so you can use bandwidth as you wish. So you may use it for data, you may use it for voice. It's good. But then they realized that when it started deploying everywhere, so it was working okay. But when they tested it in the lab, it was okay. So it was something like maybe 10 megabits, and it was quite good connection. But when you put this base station everywhere, mobile operators realize that it is not one guy who connects to the network at the same time. When the number of people is more than one, so this bandwidth split it to each of them. So, and in some places, like, I don't know, some near crowded places, in shopping center and so on, 3G networks almost not working with data because it doesn't allow, so it's 10 megabits, but for all people here. And it's not too much. So they decided, well, we need new generation right now. And they added 4G network. What is 4G network? Now they don't have circuit switched core. It is in past. So they added new packet core, added new base station, new radio. It's totally flexible and so on. And it's working good. For data, it's perfectly working for data, but the question is, where is the voice? Because if there is no circuit switched core, which was handling voice, where is the voice in 4G network? And the thing is that natively, it should be IP telephony. So it should be IP multimedia subsystems there in mobile network, and it is C protocol based. So they just use IP telephony as base, and so they thought that it will be a good solution for 4G network. And this thing called VoLTE. So sometimes, or I don't know how it works in Argentina, sorry for that, but you will see VoLTE connection on your phone. It means that you're using native voice for 4G. But due to the fact that it was required to deploy 4G network very fast, operators didn't have time to implement this piece of network. So what they did, there was kind of temporal fix, like you may not introduce IMS infrastructure, and to making calls, your phone will switch to old generation of the networks. So when you're making call, your phone immediately switch to 3G network or even into 2G network, and then call is processing. After call is finished, your phone immediately switch back to 4G network. That's interesting that this idea and this situation, many people can't recognize that, because when they call and they just not looking on the phone and not looking what is in their phone right now. So they don't know that they are not in 4G while they doing call. Anyway, we are in a future almost, and there is 5G in the world, but the thing is that in most of the 5G network in the world, it is not true 5G. It's like, again, it's not true thing, because they added 5G radio here, they added 5G base station, but it connects to 4G base station and acts as slave, and for packet core and for internal network of mobile operator, it will be like 4G. And how it works, your phone, all the control plane, all the messages and so on, they are going through the 4G network. And only when you trying to download quite a lot of amount of data. For example, you are watching YouTube, so your phone connects to 5G simultaneously. It's not like switched from 4G to 5G, but the phone connects simultaneously to both of them. And 5G network is used for passing your packets to the internet, and 4G network used to control it. So it's kind of trick. And again, IP multimedia system should be there, and it's again VoLTE. So for 5G NSA, it's still VoLTE. There is no any other technology for that. If we go into true 5G, which should have its own 5G core, it's very specific one, it's new one, new protocols. And now in 5G, there is more common protocols, not like it was in previous generation when mobile network was using very specific protocols like diameter, like SA and so on. Now they're using HTTP2. So it is the same what used in internet and usual IT. Yeah, and they have 5G connection here. And again, IMS infrastructure should be connected to 5G network. And as you see, it is the same IMS infrastructure. So it doesn't matter if we are talking about 4G, 5G non-standalone, or 5G standalone. It's still the same infrastructure. It will be IMS. But in 5G, it will be called VoNR. NR, it's new radio. They called 5G new radio. I don't know how they will call that when they will have 6G, but it will still call new radio. So this technology called voice over NR, but it is the same as voice over LTE. There is quite very little difference, almost everything like VoLTE. So, and it's still possible to switch subscribers from 5G non-standalone to 3G network if you don't have IMS infrastructure, even in 2G network, and it's still working even in native 5G. So if you have native 5G and you still don't have IMS infrastructure, you still can work over 2G and 3G network to make calls. That's, I don't know, trick and big lie for dozens of years. And well, if we dig into the history a bit, so first LTE network was deployed in December 2009. It was Telia and it was deployed in Sweden and Norway. First VoLTE network, so VoLTE was introduced with this VoLTE support, appeared only in August 2012 in USA. So you see that 2 years late, and after that only this real voice which should be working in LTE comes to LTE first time. And the only phone which were supporting this technology, it was LG Connect 4G. And the full-featured VoLTE network was deployed first only in May 2014 in Singapore. And again, the only phone was supporting that. It was Samsung Galaxy Note 3. So you see that between first deployment of LTE network and appearing working VoLTE, it's like 4 or even 5 years. And for now, almost all new phones having VoLTE support only in 2020. So you see that 10 years late after LTE appears, and only after 10 years, phones starting to support this technology out of the box. And it's really, really strange. And telco industry, it's very slow, guys. They don't care about that, because when I was on conference with telco maybe in 2016, I asked guys, why you do not trying to deploy VoLTE? And they asked, why we need that? We don't see any money of that, and why we need that? We don't need it, because we still have this fallback, we still have this trick, so we don't want to invest in that because we don't see any result for us. But there happen some bombshell in the end of previous year. So Verizon USA, they retired the 2G and 3G network by end of 2022. And it may sound okay, no problem, but in the initially they said that they will do that till the end of 2019, but they postponed it because the industry was not ready for that, because as you heard a bit slides later before, that only in 2020 all the phones started to support VoLTE, so they were not able to retire 2G and 3G network because some phones still not work and they are not able to make calls in native 4G network. So due to this postponing, most of the operators and the industry, they thought that this deadline will be also postponed, and no one cares about that. But so let's see. So if we retire 2G and 3G network, so this piece of the network will be down, and if it is down, so only IMS infrastructure may work for voice, and there is nothing else to do in this trick to switch in phones to 3G and 2G network, and yeah, that's it. So and it means that it is problem not for Verizon because they was ready for that, but it is a problem for all the operators in the world because. For example, you here in Argentina, and for example, your operator doesn't have this VoLTE connection, and when you move to USA for roaming, you will not be able to do calls because your network doesn't support VoLTE, so your phone will not try to do that. And in USA, there is no way to switch to 2G or 3G network because it is not possible, it is not there. So all the world was affected, but by only one situation. And money and reputation were affected for most of operators and for people who is traveling a lot, so there was complaining why it is not working anymore. Due to that, most of the operators in the world, they trying to build VoLTE network in 60 seconds. Like, let's do it fast. Let's do it, guys. Let's start and do it. And operators started to build their VoLTE network starting this year very fast. Many of them built it even in a few months. I'm talking not about progressive countries and progressive operators, but about all of them. So some of them already had it and they didn't worry about that, but many of operators didn't have it and it was not working. And due to this urgency, they made a lot of configuration mistakes. So let's dig into IMS network. What is that? First of all, we need to understand, because you see that I showed this connection, so, and you see that when subscriber connection passed over core infrastructure of mobile operator, then these packets will be passed to the internet or to IMS. And how to get into IMS infrastructure, how phone and network may understand which packets sent to internet, which packets sent to IMS. And it's quite easy. In your phone, you have configuration. It is APN section, access point names. And usually there is something like internet. In many of countries, in many of operators, they use just simple internet. It may be something different, depending on operator, but usually it's something like that. And it means that here on PGW, there is like internet, it's like subscriber want to connect to internet, so it route this traffic to the internet. And to access to IMS, there is dedicated APN which called IMS. And it is the same for everyone. I mean, for every operator in the world, it will be IMS. While internet may be different, IMS will be the same all the time. So due to this configuration in the phone, you show to the phone which network used to which packet. So when phone wants to send call, so he needs to send the packets into this APN. And how to make phone to understand that this APN is for voice. There is in configuration there is APN type, and you see that this IMS type. So it's easy. APN name is IMS and APN type also IMS. And it makes phone understand that all the packets and this connection should be used for voice calls. Funny story is that modern phones, starting maybe from Android 10 and iOS is for long years already, so they are not showing IMS APN at all. So they use it by default, but it's security by obscurity. As usual in telco infrastructure, they think that if we will not show anything to people, they will not understand how it works and how to break it. So in modern phone, you will not find this IMS APN, but you may do something with that. I will tell about this later. So what is IMS network? IMS network consists of some number of equipment. The main one is PCSCF. It's the first one. It's like SBC for usual SIP telephony. And it's like proxy and should protect IMS infrastructure from customers, because it should send only necessary messages and all the other things should be blocked. And there is some other proxy connection and some infrastructure to do this connection to old school public switch telephone numbers like city call and so on. So still there. Now it's moved in IMS infrastructure. And so how to hijack VoLTE network? First of all, we need to break rules for sure. And if you want to get access to IMS infrastructure, you just need to use APN IMS, but change APN type to default. Default, it means something which phone thinks that it is internet, and all the messages and everything will be routed to this default connection. So you may do that, and after that you will be in IMS infrastructure, and you may use your phone for usual pen test. For example, run nmap here, but as you see, nmap not found. It may be a problem because it is not so easy to start pen test from phone because, well, you still can build nmap from source. There is already built binaries in the internet, so you can upload it into your phone and start this penetration testing from your phone, but it is not comfortable. So better to use common tools. And what we do in our research, so we just took this LTE dongle and configure IMS APN, because we can do that. No one will tell you about that, but you can do that. And the funny story is that when we told this to some of operators, they told us, you can't do that. We thought, why? We can. And they told, you can't do this because this thing should not work with this. And so they have quite strange thinking, like it should work like this, and all exceptions should not work. But it is not true. You can do this, and it will work. And now I'm trying to explain the problem which we found in IMS infrastructure. And the first thing, it is not about IMS infrastructure, but just an example is that when you connect to the internet, so several subscribers connected to the internet, their data will pass through the E node B, SGW, PGW, and here pass into the internet. And another subscriber will do the same. But the problem, not the problem, but the thing is that this phone can't reach this phone because communication between each other, it's blocked on PGW. And it's very old feature which is there for, I don't know, for all the years already. And it's like switch, turn it on, and this will block this possibility to connect from one phone to another phone for internet. The funny story is that it is almost in all the network, it is blocked for internet connection, but for IMS connection, it's working. So you can connect to IMS infrastructure, and you can ping another phone, or you can establish some connection, or you can run a map and scan another phone. Because there is no such configuration on PGW. I don't know why. We have an idea why it happens, because C protocol, which should be used in IMS, it has some option to work when it sends messages directly from one phone to another phone, bypassing all the nodes inside the network. But the thing is that, so it may be a reason why operators don't activate this feature to block connection between subscribers. But the thing is that especially in IMS, it's specific VoIP technology. It never uses possibility of C protocol to communicate from phone to phone directly. But we have this situation that it works. And what we started to think, so we put laptop, we put USB dongle, USB modem to connect, and starting to think how we can abuse it. So first of all, first idea which we had, well, let's try to make a fake IMS infrastructure and pass connection from this subscriber to our fake IMS infrastructure, and then we can spoof calls or intercept calls and so on. But to do that, you need to understand how it works, and we see that it's quite complicated. So to build fake IMS infrastructure, it's not so easy task. Well, it's difficult one. Let's start to think, and we realize that probably we don't need connection to public switched telephone network. We don't want to make calls to city phones. So that's why we don't need all this stuff. Probably we also don't need IP phones, because it's just proof of concept. We just need to make it work. So that's why we also don't need this one. Now, how to build this? There is a software called Camaleo. You can, I don't know, it's open source. You can run it. So it allows to build PCSCF and ICSCF. But there is still problem with HSS, because in mobile network, all the authentication, it works over SIM card, because there are secret keys on the SIM card and secret keys on this equipment in the mobile network, and all the authentication happens over this device. So we need somehow to bypass it to real one. So we started to think how we can bypass this. There are difficult way, but we found easy way. So we realized that we don't need basically to build IMS infrastructure. We just need simple script which will proxy messages from our laptop to real IMS infrastructure. And we just need somehow to route these messages from real phone to our IP address. And basically that is the problem, because in reality, this phone should know this PCSCF address, and PCSCF address is pushed from MME equipment on the beginning when the connection established during connection procedure. So we started to think how to push it by us. We want to do it. We are quite good in understanding of how it works internally. We tried different things, but still we realized that we need to know some specific identities which we can't get from real network, and that was a problem. So what we did, we decided to hack the phone, because phone can use not only PCSCF address which network provided, but it may use something from internal configuration file. And for example, for Samsung phone, there is application in Play Store which called Core IMS. You can download it. It's just one button, you run it, and it runs some service menu in phone. So this thing doesn't do anything, just run some service message from phone. And you see that there is a lot different configuration. You can change, I don't know, encryption algorithm and so on, and you also can change this PCSCF address. Sometimes it may be not enough, and you need root for help, because in modern phone, in modern even Samsung with Android 13, this configuration is not enough. It doesn't provide you possibility to change this IP address. So you need root to dig into a file system and find the XML file which is about that, and change it manually. Or if your phone is Qualcomm based, there are some MBN config on that, and you can change it in MBN config, but it's even harder than just get root from phone. So it's quite not so easy, and we understand that we need somehow to hack phone, but as proof of concept, it was working. So we reconfigured phone via this QoMS application. We reconfigured IP address, and we were able to reroute this traffic over our laptop to the real infrastructure, and well, it's real MITM. So we were able to listen, to see all the packets which pass in from subscriber to IMS infrastructure. So all this stuff was intercepted. But it looks quite hard and not practical. I mean, if you want to hack someone else, because you need to change configuration on his phone somehow. So we started to think what's the other way to break their network and how we can use it. And we decided to make a very simple thing. We connected our laptop to the internet, connected our laptop to the mobile infrastructure, to IMS infrastructure via USB modem, and connected phone. And due to the fact that they are reachable between each other, we configured OpenVPN server on the laptop. We installed OpenVPN client on the phone. We upload corresponding configuration from this server to this phone, and we were able to get access to the internet. And we can use internet for free in this case. Why? I will explain it a bit later. Because internet APN, it's the charging of internet APN. It's charged based on the amount of data which you send. So there are some specific billing system which count how many megabytes you pass to the internet and so on. So, and based on that, there will be billing for that. But for IMS infrastructure, it should bill you not because of data, it should bill you because of minutes. So how many minutes you call, so that will be the point for charging. But the thing is that this counting, it's made internally in IMS infrastructure, but we don't use IMS infrastructure at all. We just using this connection, which is not related to IMS infrastructure. So IMS APN will not be charged for that. And due to lack of isolation, we can establish direct subscriber-to-subscriber communication. We can set up OpenVPN tunnel to another subscriber and use his internet if it is free. Other kind of tunnels are also work. You may establish DNS tunnel or whatever you want, or even deploy P2P network. For example, use this network for torrents or something like that. And the main interesting thing is that if networks provide VoLTE roaming, it means that you may still use it in roaming. So you may set up your laptop at home, connect via USB modem, move to roaming network, connect to IMS network, and use this OpenVPN to use free internet. And here is a demo. I will explain a bit the setup. So we have laptop. It's connected to the internet via Wi-Fi. So here, Wi-Fi. We also have USB dongle, which connected to mobile network, and we use IMS as APN. Also, we have phone. Phone connected to this laptop, just like file transfer, just to upload OpenVPN config fast. And now, probably yes, it will work. So we configured IMS connection. Now we go into device information, and we need to find IP address. So we have IP address in this IMS infrastructure. Now we use road value installer. It's special script which allows you to set up OpenVPN server quickly. So we just use this IP address from here, put it to here. Then quite easy configuration. You just need press yes, 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 1, 2, 3, something like that. So yes, it's installing. After that, it's done. So you see that it's less than a minute. Now we need to copy configuration, OpenVPN configuration. So we copy it, change privilege for that. Then we need to upload it to the phone. So here is the phone. Here is our download folder. So we move this configuration to the phone. Then I just close connection. Now I need to change some IP address on server configuration, OpenVPN server configuration, because by default it made it wrong. Then restart service. And then I'm closing browser just to not show these packets in Wireshark after that. So we are waiting. Now we took a phone. So we need to add new APN, IMS. Then, yes, APN IMS. And APN type also default. We should put it default because we want to abuse it. Now we save and activate this IMS connection. And as you know, IMS doesn't have internet. So we're trying to go to the internet and no internet connection. OK, let's open OpenVPN client, upload, add this OpenVPN config from laptop. And now we need to activate it. And you see that all the packets pass into the laptop. And now we are in the internet. So, and we are able to go to Ekoparty web page. It's quite a heavy web page, but still it's working. So this connection works good. That is 5 seconds more. OK. So what we did, again, if you didn't get it, so we just have laptop. We have connected it to the internet. We connected to IMS infrastructure via USB dongle. And by the phone, we use this OpenVPN Connect application to use OpenVPN connection. And we can successfully establish this connection to our laptop and use internet for free. And all this stuff from mobile network, just leave it for you. We will use another thing. So that's how it works. And what's the mitigation for mobile network application? First of all, it's very easy configuration. They need to turn on subscriber isolation, as it's usually done for internet APN. We usually do it for internet APN, but for IMS APN, they forget about this. And another story, mobile operator, not only in IMS infrastructure, but almost in whole network, they don't have visibility. Usually they don't have monitoring of what happens in their network. I mean, they have monitoring system which collects some signaling data, which check in some, I don't know, location update, how you move from one place to another place. They gather all this information in debug purpose. But what exactly subscribers doing in their network, they don't check it. So they don't have this monitoring at all usually. And what's the conclusion of this talk? That such misconfiguration, which is lack of subscriber isolation, for IMS APN, we see more than in 50% of tested network. And this is, I I guess that it is probably due to this fact that they built IMS infrastructure and VoLTE infrastructure in few months, and they were not caring about security because they were caring about how to make it work, because our subscriber can't call in roaming in USA, so they were not caring about security at all. And another problem that mobile operators are very big and very slow. You see that they had almost 10 years to do that. So they had more than 10 years to build it securely, good, test it for whatever they want, for security, for performance, and so on. But they just didn't do it because they thought that, well, we still can use this trick and pass subscriber to 2G network, and it will work forever. But you see that it is not working forever. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
¿Alguien tiene preguntas? Levante la mano, por favor.
Any questions?
Yes, here. Okay. I don't know. Okay, 2 questions. First one, you can do this within the same operator, or you can do this with different operators?
This connection will work only in the same operator, because each operator has his own IMS infrastructure. There will be IP range for you, and the reachability will be for only inside the same operator. But if you're talking about if we try to use it in different operator, in most operators it works.
Cool. Second one, the bandwidth inside the IMS network, it is good to use internet through your home, or?
Sorry, you're asking about speed, or?
Yes.
Yeah. You see that Ekoparty web page is quite heavy, and it uploaded not in 1 second, but it's working. I checked the speed; it was about 1.5 megabits, so it's quite enough for serving and even for more things.
Okay, thank you. My question was: let's say in the future I run Nmap on the IMS network. What should I might find in that network?
Very good question. What do you think about that?
I have really no idea, but I suppose most phones have everything.
Exactly. You will find SSH, FTP, you will find some web of management of some internal infrastructure, so you may find whatever you want. We tried to connect to some SSH, and it's kind of illegal, so we tried just root, not working, okay.
just in my dreams. I'm trying to use this in my dreams.
Yes, that's true. It will work for sure. I mean, in most of operators, we see that due to they have not only this misconfigurations, they don't have proper segmentation. Their PCSCF, which should cut all this unnecessary connection and all this stuff, it doesn't work because you can easily bypass it and just scan any IP address in their network, in their infrastructure. And mobile operators, they are quite, all the time they live in their own life. I mean, they think that they're isolated from whole world and no one can pass into their infrastructure. And that's why usually they don't care about, I don't know, good passwords and so on to protect their services, to do good segmentation, nothing like that. And IMS network, it's maybe the first one which you can easily reach from subscriber side. You just need to know some tricks to that. And they still don't know about that. Thank you for a good question. Any other questions?
Okay. If your phone is on IMS and you set up a hotspot, mobile hotspot, can you now have other systems, with all your tooling on the IMS as well?
So sorry, I hear you not very.
If you have your phone is on IMS and you make a mobile hotspot for other devices to connect, will those devices be on IMS?
It's just usual IP connection, so you can share it and
okay, so that's the
yes,
same. Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
¿Otras preguntas? Bueno, despedimos a Pavel con un fuerte aplauso.
Thank you.
A las 2 de la